Today we're checking out the AirPods Pro 2. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, my name is Ronan and I make product and tech reviews. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the second generation AirPods Pro. So I have the AirPods Pro 2 right here, and I've actually been using the AirPods Pro first generation since 2020. And in the last couple of weeks, my left AirPod, the volume is kind of lower than the right AirPod. And also more annoyingly is the transparency and noise cancellation isn't working properly in the left AirPod anymore. So it's kind of making like a crackly noise anytime it tries to either pick up something on transparency mode or block something out on noise cancelling mode. But also more crucially with that kind of crackling noise, it's making that every time I move the AirPod when it's in my ear. So for example, if I'm out walking the dog, it cracks every time I take a step, or if I'm speaking to somebody, I can hear it crackling as my jaw moves, if I turn my head, same thing, you get the idea. So it's just become like kind of unusable, and I use my AirPods all the time. Like, I love my AirPods. They have been fantastic. Kind of one of those things that you don't really think about when you have them, but when you're without them, you really notice the inconvenience of just trying to use something else, because they do work incredibly well, particularly when you're just connecting to, say, your iPhone, or if you're jumping between devices like your iPhone, your iPad, or in my case, my MacBook Pro. As I said already, I use these things pretty much every day. Like, I use them when I'm out walking. I use them when I'm watching stuff on my iPad. I've actually started using them when I'm watching stuff on the Apple TV, because the sound quality through the AirPods is better than it is through the TV. And then if I'm working and I'm editing videos, whether it's like a video for this YouTube channel or if it's something for work, I'm using my AirPods. So like, I kind of can't really be without these things. So that is why I decided to upgrade to the AirPods Pro 2. And one other quick thing to mention is that this video isn't sponsored by anybody. I bought these AirPods with my own money, and well, actually Elaine bought them for me as an early Christmas present, which is very exciting. But the point is, this video isn't sponsored. Nobody has paid me to make this video, but I wanted to open these up and kind of give you guys my first impressions of them here on the channel, in case there's something that you're interested in buying yourself. Okay, so I think I have spoken about these things long enough. It's time to open them up and see exactly what is inside this tiny little box. So first thing we do is we just flip this over, and like most Apple products now, we've got these two like sticky tape things here and here. So we're just going to tear these away, and now we're going to just flip this back over again. And oh, this just comes up so easily and so nicely. Okay, so the first thing we see is the paperwork, actually. And it just says, designed by Apple in California. And in here we have like all like the manuals for how to use these things and how they all go together and the different ear tip sizes, all that kind of stuff. So we'll just set that aside. And then we have the AirPods case itself. So this is kind of the main event here. So we just lift this out, and again, it has this kind of like protective kind of plastic on it just to keep it all nice and safe. But yeah, these things are so nice. And they're really similar to my original AirPods Pro. I'm gonna show you guys the two cases side by side in a second, but I feel like they might be slightly heavier. So again, if we just reach in here, we can take this cardboard out, and oh great. So we have a USB Type-C cable. This is, again, like most of the new Apple products, this is actually like a braided rope cable rather than the old kind of rubberized plastic cables. So it's really nice that you get a cable like this with the AirPods Pro. And again, because they've moved to USB Type-C, the cable is USB Type-C on both ends. And then the last thing we have is another little cardboard container that contains ear tips. So these are essentially replacement ear tips for the AirPods. So we have large, we have small. The mediums are already on the AirPods. They come as standard, and for me, they're kind of generally the ones that work best in my ears. At least they did with my original AirPods Pro. but you also get these new extra small ear tips. So they weren't included with the original AirPods Pro. They didn't make them in this size, but they have started to make smaller ear tips for the AirPods Pro now with the second generation. So it's really cool that Apple gives you a set of all sizes with your AirPods as well. And just before I get into like opening these up and kind of connecting them to my phone and seeing what they sound like, I just kind of want to run through some of the immediate differences with the new charging case for the AirPods Pro 2. So to do that, I have my AirPods Pro 1. So you can see here, these are my original AirPods Pro, and the new case feels slightly bigger. So at least I thought it was. It's hard to tell actually. When I kind of lay these like side by side, they look like they're pretty much identical, but when I just kind of hold the two cases and look at them, this one does feel like it's bigger, but there are some immediate differences. Straight away, it's definitely heavier. There's much more weight in this one than there is in the original one. And the reason for that is the first kind of major difference is on this side here, we have a little loop so that you can put a lanyard on your AirPods Pro case. So there's now speakers on the AirPods Pro case as well. And then just the idea with that is if you misplace your AirPods Pro, you can actually find them using Find My on your iPhone. And instead of just telling you roughly where they are, you can actually ping them the same way you can with your iPhone and your Apple Watch. And then the last major difference between this case and my original one is the charging port. As I said already, this one is USB Type-C, and the reason for that is just all Apple products are moving to that USB Type-C connector now. The next thing I want to do is to actually pair these to my phone to see what they're like. So first thing I want to do is just open the case. And it's making a noise. Okay, and I'm now connecting. So straight away, it takes them a second, but the AirPods just come straight up on the phone sees them and pairs straight away. Now it is showing me kind of how to go through all of the controls on the AirPods, because these have slightly different controls than what the original AirPods Pro had. And I'm just quickly going through some of the setup for some of the settings that I know that I want. Okay, so I think that is it. I think that is my AirPods kind of set up. They look almost identical to the old AirPods Pro, but there is a new input here on the top that wasn't on the old ones. The old ones just kind of had this one here and then this one here. So I think the next thing I need to do is just put these into my ears and see what happens. So my phone is telling me that they're connected. I'm on transparency mode, and I also have a new feature which is called conversation awareness. And essentially what conversation awareness does is the AirPods detect when you're speaking. So if it's playing like a podcast or music or anything in the background, it will immediately lower the volume of what's coming through the AirPods so that you can hear and speak to somebody and have a conversation with them. And that is a really nice feature, because I did find very often that I would actually nearly have to take my AirPods out to speak to somebody if I was using them, whether they were on transparency mode or noise cancellation. So we have some new modes. So there's obviously noise control, just turns everything off, and that just like deadens the sound, kind of makes it feel like you're underwater. Like I can hear my voice now. I can't really hear anything outside. Like it's pretty windy today. I right now can't hear the wind at all. Then if I go to transparency mode, I can now hear everything much more clearly, like I would if I didn't have my AirPods in at all. And then we have adaptive. I don't really know what that is, and when I press it, it just bounced back to transparency mode, so not really sure what that is. Might be something that I have to set up. And then I have noise cancellation. Okay, so I have noise cancellation on now, and interestingly, when I speak, it immediately jumps back to transparency mode. So that's obviously that adaptive conversation mode that I just turned on. It's detecting me talking to you guys, and then when I go quiet, they go back into noise cancellation mode, which is cool. So now I'm gonna go and do the ear tip fit test. So it says I have a good seal, so yeah, that seems to be working really well. Okay, so one thing that's new with these is I can just rub up and down on the stem of the AirPod to increase or decrease the volume. And what's really interesting about that is when you do it, it actually gives you like a little pop or a little click sound like you would if you had like an old-fashioned dial. So you know that when you're swiping, the audio volume is increasing or decreasing as you need it to. And then same as before, I can change between noise cancellation and transparency mode just by kind of squeezing the stalk here for a second or two. So now I'm just gonna go and play some music and see what the sound quality on these is like. So for some reason I'm not hearing anything. Okay, so I had to reboot my phone there to get the AirPods to actually play music, which was a bit weird. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that. Hopefully that doesn't happen again and it was just a glitch. But straight away, I can say that the audio quality out of the AirPods is phenomenal. Like, I was always impressed with the audio quality out of my original AirPods, but these ones, the sound quality just sounds so much crisper and so much just higher quality. And then what's cool as well is because I have conversation awareness on, I can still hear the music playing, but it's gone really low in my ears because I'm speaking. And then if I stop, it takes it a second, but it does actually bring the volume back up again, back to where it was. The noise cancelling is supposed to be twice as powerful as it was on the original AirPods Pro. So I'm really looking forward to kind of putting these through their paces and using these a bit more. But already just in terms of the quality of the AirPods Pro 2, I am really impressed with what I'm hearing. And then one other thing that's gonna be really helpful for me with this case is because I'm now using the iPhone 16 Pro, my AirPods Pro and my iPhone both charge from the same cable. But another really cool feature of this AirPods Pro 2 case is it's actually compatible with the Apple Watch charger. So if I'm charging my phone and I need to charge my case, I can actually use the charger from my Apple Watch and it will stick magnetically to the back of the case and it will charge just the same. So if the AirPods Pro 2 are something that you're interested in getting, they are €279, and that seems to be the price regardless of whether you buy them from like a third-party reseller, you buy them from an Apple store, or if you buy them directly from Apple's website. But yeah, that is kind of like this first look at the AirPods Pro 2. I know that these have been out for a while, but I haven't had them, so I just kind of wanted to make this video for you guys here. And also what's quite exciting is when Apple announced the iPhone 16 Pro, they also announced a load of new features that are coming for the AirPods Pro 2. That essentially mean that they will work like hearing aids for a lot of people, and the transparency mode is just going to be getting better, and there's a lot of new features coming to the AirPods Pro 2, and a lot of these new features, like, they're the kind of things that you would expect with a new piece of hardware, but Apple haven't actually upgraded the hardware at all. It's all being done with existing hardware. So these AirPods Pro have actually kind of got a whole new lease of life, and it's great to see Apple are starting to do that with some of their products, where they can bring out kind of new top line features without actually upgrading the hardware. But yeah, I'm really excited to just start using these AirPods Pro much more and kind of just figure out all the little quirks and nuances that are in these AirPods Pro. But for now, I'm gonna leave this video here, so I hope you like it. If you do, please give it a big thumbs up, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video.